So welcome everyone to the BBBOTS audience Zoom room following the Big Brother Best Shows Ever. How good was it? How good was that show just now? Seems like yesterday.
Brilliant. Amazing.
I am super excited that we've got two housemates joining us tonight. From the very first series, we've got Claire Strutton, who replaced Nasty Nick just 2 days after he left the house. And we're going to have a word with her in a minute. And we've also got from Celebrity Big Brother a bit later on, the Duchess of Solihull, the one and only Dee Kelly. Big hand for our two guests. Thank you very much for joining us. And if I can start with Claire, because that episode just now was unbelievable. So basically, I want to start, Claire, by asking, how did it feel replacing Nasty Nick after he was on all the front pages? Did you know that he was on the front pages, or did they have you in hiding? And how did it feel when you got the call that you were going in the house? And following that, how did it change your life?
Well, it was really funny because they obviously we applied the same time. I was actually in castings with Darren. So when it was aired and Darren was on it, I was like, oh my God, I remember him. So I applied the same time as everybody else. And they said, you've got 10 boys and 10 girls in emergencies, because at that time it had been aired in Spain and Holland. And they'd obviously had reserves from the previous shows. So they said, if a boy leaves, a boy goes in. If a girl leaves, a girl goes in. And so I went through all of the process, the same as everybody else that were picked for the last 10. And then they said to me, you're on the reserve list. And I thought, oh my God, how dare you? So I went on holiday to Spain, and they rang me up while I was away, and they said, we're just checking you're on the reserve list and you're ready to go in. And I was like, well, I'm not being funny, but you're not paying me, and I've got a life to live. I'm on holiday. And they said, it was actually really cool. And they said, no, you need to get back because there's a bit of a situation happening. And I was like, well, listen, my flight's tomorrow. It's not a problem. And I didn't realise, but all of this was unfolding. So they were way ahead of it. They knew.
You weren't even watching.
I wasn't even watching. I was like sunbathing.
Bad girl. Bad girl.
No, it was. So they said to me, you've got to go in and maybe we need you in a hotel. So they actually did put me in a hotel, and they said, you're on standby. And I'm thinking, they're taking me for a fool. They've already told me if a boy goes out, a boy goes in. So, they're humouring me. And I felt a bit like a muppet. I was sort of sat there thinking, I'm going to go home in a day and everyone's going to laugh at me. And then, and then they said, no, actually, we want you to go in. We want to even up the numbers. Nick's gone out. So everything that I saw tonight, I hadn't actually seen a lot of that. It was kind of cool.
Wow. Really? That's interesting.
But I think it was actually, with hindsight, really helpful, because I went in totally blind, and when they're telling me the stories, because it was a big thing when I went in, everybody,
it was massive.
But to the guys in there, I mean, a few weeks before, because they'd said to me, obviously through the auditions, this is going to blow up, it's going to be massive. And then when it did air, and I'm still in reality, like I'm living my life, it was on page 7, page 12. And I'm thinking, oh my God, these guys, these poor guys, because I've been through the same process of them, they think they're going to be famous, and they're on page 12. And then obviously I didn't see Nick on the front page. So because I was kept sort of out of sight for a couple of days. So yeah, I went in, and I'm still thinking, it's not as big as you think, guys, let's just have a laugh. Let's have fun. Yeah. And it was, I didn't realise, but when I was kind of in hiding, it blew up. And it was only when I came out and everyone was going crazy, I was like, oh my God, this is really weird. Still was weird for me. And the funny thing was, everybody thought, oh, you knew what you were getting into. And I thought, no, you don't understand. I didn't have a clue.
And you stayed,
page 12.
You stayed in a little while, didn't you? Were you the fifth? You came fifth in the end, or?
I remember them saying, I remember being in the hotel, and they were like, you can't contact anybody. And I said, I need to tell my mum and dad where I am, because they're going to worry. So they were quite strict. And I remember ringing my mum, and you had like a babysitter with you. And I said, oh, Mum, I'm going into this TV programme. I can't tell you anything, but I won't be home. And then I said, oh, how long is it before I can get nominated? And the lady said, oh, it's 2 weeks. And I went, all right, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Because I thought, I'm going in halfway through. I'm out as soon as, but why not? It would be a laugh.
And then when you came out, obviously you'd seen what had gone on with Nick and Craig and everything. And I mean, what did you make of that?
The funny thing was, and this is where watching tonight was kind of really cool, because there was a lot of affection for Nick. He'd actually managed to, and I met him after. Let me tell you, the guy's charming. He's so cool. He's such a nice guy. Yeah.
But he seemed very polite. He did seem very polite.
Just played the wrong game.
Yeah.
Played the wrong game.
But he's very there's almost like a bit of an innocence about him. When you meet him, it's quite disarming. You kind of he was innocent. He was vulnerable,
Very vulnerable.
Yeah, you warmed to the guy. Yeah. You didn't and everybody in the house, it actually surprised me, because I knew he'd been kicked out, obviously. They loved him, all of them, and they were genuinely gutted about what had happened. You watch it and you think, yeah, but it was a real big hole that he left. So I kind of walked into a bit of a depressed house. They really felt his sort of loss.
Watching tonight's episode, when he was doing the task and he said he was in the territorial army, and he was the one getting the penalties for not getting through
Fell
the
off the monkey bars.
He was like Frank Spencer.
Yeah, you know what? 20 years later, we're still talking about him.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. That says a lot.
It's almost as if he just can't follow instructions.
Yeah.
He's a complex character.
That's one way.
I think possibly because it was the first one, he had written those things down, put them in his bag, thinking I've got a game plan, which he did say, and then maybe he all backfired because when he went in there, he didn't realise what reception he was going to get when he actually had to show it. Didn't think he was going to get caught. And it was a game.
It's really funny to see. You do forget the cameras are there, and I know you think, how could that ever happen? But you genuinely forget the cameras are there. You really do. I mean, it looks really small on TV, but it's a much bigger space than you realise. Oh, sorry. And
you got your guards.
Is that the first ever Big Brother dog?
Nasty Nick's trying to get in.
It feels different looking at it now. Does it feel different looking at it now, when you're looking at it now, to when it was when you're actually in there?
Yeah. It was such a lovely time for me. I had such a good laugh in there that it's kind of, you feel happy but sad, because I'm sad that it's over, but I'm happy that I did it. But it felt completely different. It was almost surreal watching it on TV tonight. Yeah.
I have a question, Claire.
Yeah.
If anybody asked you, do you think I should go in? What would your advice be?
If it was back in the day, 1,000,000%. I'm not so sure now, because I think people have different expectations of what they want to get out of it.
Doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, we were not, it was the first one, so reality TV didn't exist, and we went in. And I genuinely think that everyone in there had their reason to go in, and none of it was to be famous or for anything after. Like Craig wanted to win to get the money.
Claire, talking about the winner, I mean, you were talking about Craig there. I mean, when I watched it, I thought Craig was very boring in the house. All he'd done was he slept constantly all the time. I actually thought Anna was a more deserving winner. What was your personal opinion? Do you think Anna would have been a better winner, or Craig? Or do you think Craig deserved
or anyone else?
I think because of the reason that Craig went in, he deserved to win, because he was the only one, in fairness, out of everybody that didn't want the money for himself. He wanted it for a better cause. Yeah,
personality-wise.
Yeah, but personality-wise, oh my God, Anna, let me tell you,
Anna
she's so intelligent. She's so
her dry humour.
Yeah, she actually, I really warmed to Anna a lot. She was really cool. I don't think the TV editing did her justice. I think that there's a lot more to her that you didn't see.
Her sarcasm and her wit. She was amazing. Amazing.
She is really, really cool. Really cool. I really liked Anna. Do you know what? I really liked everybody in there. There was nobody that had like an underlying kind of thing going on. Yeah, no, everyone was just really, they were pure. I know that sounds really weird. They were just really cool people. And all of them were really nice.
Normal.
Yeah.
But
normal everyday people.
It's brilliant to hear from you, Claire, that thanks for coming on and telling us what it was like to be in the very first Big Brother house. Can I just have a word with Dee? Dee, moving on a few years, you were in the celebrity Big Brother house. How would you think it compared later on in years compared to way back 20 years ago?
I can't say we were pampered because we were dealt with exactly the same. Like, you know, we were put into hiding and I don't know. I mean, I kind of went in there thinking it's all, you know, it's all put on and they'll let me speak.
A bit of a laugh.
Although I went in personally for a break from all the newspapers. You know what I mean? It's like, and I was like, oh, they'll let us see our kids and they'll feed us. We were bloody starving. We couldn't win a task. We couldn't even count the people I was in. We couldn't even count. And it was proper like. But it's the opposite to you, Claire. It's kind of like when I've been watching it for years and years on the TV, and then when I went in, I thought, oh my God, it's tiny.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But
well, I think the Elstree house was tiny, wasn't it, when they moved after 3 years to Moore and Wood to Elstree? I think the house was small because I think some of us got the chance to go in there and we said how small it was when we went in on the other occasion.
Couldn't get away from anybody in that house, no matter how hard you tried.
We were privileged. Some of us were very, very privileged to be invited to go into the house. And when we did go into the house, you can actually see that there was no space, as you said. Yeah. And if somebody says something, the other people could hear it, although when they filmed it, it looks as though you were miles away. But in fact, one person was there, the other one was there, so you could see and hear everything that went on.
And I think that's what they did, you know. I think it was to cause maybe a little bit more sort of arguments and controversial. Because if you did fall out with someone, you turned round and they were still right in your face.
You weren't afraid, girl. You would have faced them.
Oh, I did, John. I did.
I know.
Did you? It's interesting. Did you know the because we knew. It was really funny. We knew there were places just purely because if you couldn't see the camera, then they couldn't see you. So we had places in the house where we knew we couldn't be seen.
Claire, where were they? Where were the spots?
Because so far along, I think, you know, because obviously it was like years after, I think they'd sort of, you know, discovered like where people used to go and hide to get away. There was one little toilet cubicle which was just off the bedrooms. There was no cameras, and that's the only place in the whole house that didn't have a camera.
I think I read 1 year they had 63 cameras in the house at one point. I think something ridiculous like that. So I don't think there was any hiding places later on.
No.
Yeah, we had a few.
Do you guys think the house got worse later on when it got, you know, as in it was too modern, housemates got too much? What's your opinion?
Well, we definitely never got too much. Like I said, it's like I don't think we got fed till about week 3.
Claire, what about the booze, Steve? What about how much alcohol did they give you?
Well, with us, it's kind of like and this is what I find really funny because they never gave our house a lot. But it's like Ricky and Lauren just seem to like get drunk on sort of like, you know, one can of Rubicon. Do you know what I'm saying? It's nice to drink, but there was an awful lot of non-drinkers in our house. So I think that's probably what it was. That the ones that drink, but it was all, I don't know how anyone could have got drunk on the stuff that they shipped into us.
I agree.
We knew when we'd been a bit boring because all of a sudden there'd be tasks where we'd win alcohol and we were right up for it, all of us. We were like, we'd have
like a
clearly we were a bit boring at the minute because, you know, they're doing alcohol tests. And we'd get loads. I mean, all the jacuzzi scene, that was based on a whole night of testing red wine. I mean, we didn't have a clue. What do we know about red wine? We didn't have a clue, but they just shipped loads in, go on, grade it. Is it good wine or bad wine? We're just like, yes, fantastic. Red.
Your tasks, Claire. When I was watching like today, there were simplistic ones, which was so nice to see.
Not for Nick, stand up all night.
For Nick.
Yeah. It was the task staying up all night beside the fire. Kept you awake.
We genuinely felt, well, for me, I can only speak from my perspective, but I felt as though I was back in school with my mates having a laugh. It didn't feel anything more than that. I just loved every second of it. It was really, really nice. You got to be a kid again. And I said that before, but that's how it genuinely felt. It was like just a load of your mates and just having fun. And they would put such stupid tasks in and we'd find them really funny. You know, we'd enjoy doing them. They were fun.
Yeah. It was very different back in the day. And I think also because of social media and because of, reality TV, it's unfortunate that a lot of people now that do go in
for the wrong reasons.
They want to get more Instagram followers, not because they genuinely want to be part of a social experiment and get to know different type of
But
people.
all of that wasn't there then. So like that didn't exist. There was no crazy Facebooking and Instagramming and things like
it's
that.
It's like it's been bred. It's like they're a breed who have just evolved.
Yeah. I'm loving the innocence.
They have to go back to. They have to go back to how it was. Normal, everyday people, and it's like it's true what you say. 9 times out of 10 now, 75% of the people that go in, you've already seen them on different reality TV.
But Dee, saying that, see, I think it was BB3 when Cameron won. They've got they chose the people were too normal and too quiet. That was one of the most boring BBs ever.
When the guy from Orkney won.
Oh, yeah.
That was a Dallas Ditchwater series, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you're researching these people, surely it can't be hard enough. It's like to get a good mix of people.
The problem nowadays, of course, is would you be able to cast, for example, a civilian series with anyone that isn't media savvy? With Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything, everyone knows everything that's going on every minute of the day. So how do you cast it?
But plus, you looked at that situation with Nasty Nick and Craig unfolding with Derek involved in there. And the diary, what would have happened now, closer to the time that we are in now, is there would have been a lot of involvement from Big Brother. It would have been Big Brother to the diary. Any of those people that stood up, it would have been straight to the diary room. So it would have been all that safety. I mean, Fight Night, I think that more had something to do with that. It changed after that. But in the first one, you saw a very long episode, full drama that was allowed to unfold, which was very interesting to see.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
Raw as well. It was completely
people
raw.
should be given the chance to solve their own problems without Big Brother.
They were so calm as well. They didn't argue. They were so calm as they were discussing it with one another.
I think nowadays there's too much political correctness, unfortunately. They wouldn't allow
Don't go there, Dan. Don't go there.
Claire and Dave, if you've ever had the chance to do it again, would you do it again?
1000%. In the same environment, 1000%.
With the same people.
What about you, Dee?
Do you know something? I up until the time, I've never ever. I've watched every single one. I've never ever once wanted to go in, but actually, I did. And you know, it's kind of like I don't know if I would. You know.
Oh, you were good.
They would if they paid you.
You know where I would rather be? With you lot in that audience. I think it was oh my God. That's what I'm saying. We'd beat in that audience any day. I want you in there.
It was a lot easier to talk about the housemates than actually, like, I reckon, going in and being a housemate.
Yeah. Do you know what? Over the years, I got asked after the Bit on the Side programme, people used to ask me, would I go in the house? Would I love to be a housemate? And I said, you're not going to believe this, I never applied in 20 years. Really? I always said it's easier talking about it than actually going in the
Doing
house.
it, yeah.
That was the way I
every
saw it.
year apart from the first year, every year.
John
last
would
time I
be the
thought it
best
was
See,
housemate.
we're all different. We're all
John
different.
would be a good
contract,
housemate.
I thought it was dead then.
Everybody knows you, John.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, though, there's bits they didn't show. There were moments in that house that you never saw on the TV, and actually they were loved. You know, like in life, you look back and you think, yeah, there's moments that actually I loved and I remember.
Yeah.
And one of the ones, they dropped a jacuzzi in the back garden, and I remember I was in a deep sleep. The chickens had been ill. We'd had like a bit of a rough day. And then I remember Craig just coming in and going, Claire, quick. And I was like, what is it? He was like, come on, you need to come out. And everyone else was asleep in the house, and the two of us had tiptoed outside. And he went, look. And overnight, someone had dropped a jacuzzi in our garden. And I remember the two of us going, high five.
And of course, a few years later, we had no naked jacuzzi-ness.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, no, naked jacuzzi.
So the show evolved.
It was so innocent then, you know, like who wakes up and someoone's dropped a jacuzzi in their garden? It was just things.
Watching it tonight.
You never knew what was going to happen when you woke up in the morning. Sorry, Vanda.
No, all I was going to say was watching it tonight, I'd forgotten how basic the house was. There was no jacuzzi, there was no hot tub, and the bed.
Strip people down.
Yeah,
right?
grey.
Make them vulnerable.
And don't forget, Craig was calling the diary room, what was it, the box? I'm going to talk in the box.
Oh, yeah, the box.
It's never been called the box in the history.
Craig in those white shorts? Oh, please!
You not noticed, John?
Oh, yeah, I figured it. I never got that.
You know,
how basic was the diary room?
Yeah, I was going to say,
compared with how it was.
How basic was the food?
But Sheila, the
basic was
diary
everything.
room.
The food was
But
terrible.
Sheila, the basic diary room that you're saying at the time it was pretty ritzy ditzy. So that chair was amazing when it was, you know.
Honestly, even when we were in there, you know, the diary room, it is a tiny little box with a chair in it. That is all it is. So it's like.
But I don't know how well known this is, but there was an incident when I was in there where you all had to nominate people, and I was shocked how serious they all took it. Like they were really, it was the whole house would be miserable beforehand, and everybody was like very, very quiet and moody and wouldn't talk and everything. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like it's not life or death. It's just a TV show. Just like do your thing, and then But they took it so badly, and so we all. Mel was like, "Let's put knickers on our head and make light of it." Like kind of not so serious. I was like, "Yeah, cool." So we had all knickers on our head, and then Darren went in and he nominated Mel and Craig. And he went in and it was so loud that everybody's sitting there with knickers on their head and we all heard him perfectly. And I was like, oh my God. And Mel got up, left the room, everyone went quiet. It was really bad. And everyone was like, don't tell him we heard, don't tell him. I was like, you can't do that. The poor guy's got to live in this house now for a few days. You need to tell him that we've heard him. And everyone was going, no, don't tell him, don't tell him. So I was like, no, I'm really sorry, but I'm not happy with that. He needs to know that we've heard him. So he came out of the diary room.
I remember you guys going up to the door.
No, you could. We were on the sofa. You could hear him on the sofa. It was so loud. We heard him clearly say Mel and Craig. It was like really. It was crystal clear. So he's come out of the diary room. Everyone's
and Mel and Craig were his friends, weren't they?
Yeah, he was really good friends with Mel, and I think she was devastated. To be fair, and it was really just not. It was so like you go awkward. It was beyond. It was bad. It was really bad.
Boy wanted the money.
I think and I think that's what that was kind of what the problem was that everybody got on really well and they were normal people, but at the heart of it was a game show and people wanted to win the money. I think everyone kind of forgot that. So
well, Nick didn't forget that. His last words were, and I quote, "It's a game show."
Yeah,
that's right.
Game.
But this is the whole thing about when we watch Big Brother. There's so many times we'll say like, "Oh, you look how bad this housemate, was sneaky. But at the end of the day, you're not in there to honestly make, you know, 10, 12 best friends. You're in there to play a game. And sometimes you do have to be a bit sneaky.
When you went in there, did you think, oh, this is just a little show that's going to be on and it's not going to accomplish very much? Or did you have vision that it actually might be something really big and last for 20 years?
No, I thought it was a couple of weeks laughing with my friends down the pub, and that would be it. Genuinely, I didn't think it would be what it was. I had no clue, which was, I think it was kind of good because I was allowed to enjoy it because of that. I just went in and thought, I'm going to have a laugh.
It went on for so long, though.
Could I just ask you a question? D.
John.
Right. Because I don't want to be sound disrespectful, but how did you feel going in meeting? Because these were celebrities, and you were obviously new under the circuit. How did you actually feel going in meeting with all these people that you've never been with before, and they were? Do you understand what I mean?
With me, John, I think the more people, because obviously the rumours had come out long before that I was approached by Big Brother, that I was going into Big Brother. And you know how it was. You know, the more people that say to me, who does she think she is? Rare, rare, rare. And I was kind of like, I'll show you who I am. You know, I'm going to go into Solihull. And it's kind of like, I thought, you know, the more people that told me she doesn't deserve to be in there, I thought, well, you know something, I never asked to go in there. They asked me to go in.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm going. And you know, and I think that's what I said earlier. The reason I went in, I think, was to escape all the press and the social media. And
at that time,
yeah, because it was really, really bad. And it's like, when I got in there, it was just surreal, because it did feel like I was just sitting on a chair at home.
Yeah.
Because it was me and George from Gogglebox, because we were kind of you know.
See, when they found out who you actually were, did they treat you any different? Do you know what I mean?
No, and do you know what I found as well? What came out is like, I was a very unknown. Nobody really knew anything about me. So kind of like, they didn't know if I'd blow up or if I'd snap or if I'd spit someone, you know.
So D and Claire.
And I think that's the difference, because with me, I didn't have a reputation to sort of, you know, to keep. I didn't have like a career that
nothing to lose.
Ignited, and I think that was the scary part. It's kind of like, you know, they were very, very wary, I suppose. And that was
how did Big Brother change your life?
They didn't want to mess with the Duchess.
How did Big Brother change your
Brilliant
life?
that they didn't realise who you were at the beginning, and you went in as royalty at that time, and they didn't know who you were, and they treated you. They really thought that you were royalty at that.
You know,
I remember you to roll a fag.
I've got big No, John, let me tell you now, when I seen this outfit that they're going to put me in, right, the first thing I said to them was, is there room in me bra for me fags? Because I'm not going in there.
Love it!
I'm not going to have access to my suitcase. So I had like, the fag shoved down the bra.
D, I want to ask you a question, please.
Yes.
Can you tell me, one of the dresses you wore in the house, did you get it from Tesco at Boreham Wood? Because I had the same dress.
No, I don't think, no, because I was an Asda kind of, I'm a George fan.
Asda, I'm sorry, I meant Asda. It was Asda.
It had to be Asda, yeah.
Was it orange?
Yes, with the little leopard print.
Yeah. I had the same one.
D, I've got a question. D and Claire, how has Big Brother changed your lives though, good and bad? I'm always intrigued about that.
Ooh.
Good question, Marlon. Very good question.
Yeah.
D, do you want to go first?
It definitely hasn't been bad for me, because it's changed my life in the way that I'm still friends with quite a few. Like me and Ricky are like that. Me and Kelly are like that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like Audley I speak to quite a few people from it, and I've just gained more friends from it, Marla. And it's like
Awesome.
so. It's definitely not been bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, mine's an obvious
your daughter
one.
there, so that's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I got
Claire,
my
let's
boy.
hear Claire. Let's hear Claire.
Well, I got my little boy from it. I met Tom on it, and obviously my son was born, who's just amazing. So yeah, it was amazing for me, really amazing.
First Big Brother baby.
Yeah. He started. He went to his first job on Monday. Started work on Monday.
Oh my!
Wow. Yeah, he's 18 years old. He's not a baby
anymore. Oh my goodness.
So you can say it was definitely a life changer. Definitely.
Yeah.
I like
awesome.
Tom. He was my favourite.
Awesome.
Claire.
Yeah, he's a very handsome little kiddie. I'm biased, but he is.
How could he not be with two parents?
Handsome man, he's Irish.
Yes.
Claire, can I ask you a question? How with Big Brother, like obviously now it's different with like the social media stuff, but at that time when you came out, what was it like? Because obviously it was a different world back then. Did your life like change, like with the press, with the paparazzis all crazy? What was it like as soon as you left 20 years
Is that for me or Dee?
Claire.
Yeah, it was a very, what's the word, quick learning curve. It's a bit it was really it's really hard to explain because and I watch the TV now and I actually feel really bad for the guys because we didn't have social media then. And I actually think that was a blessing because I think it's a lot harder. I remember that in the old days, Big Brother had an internet site and they said, if you want to send the housemate a message, click here. And when I came out, they sent me a CD with all the messages on. And I got it about 6 weeks, I think it was 7 weeks after the programme had finished. And I remember putting this CD into my computer and all these messages were popping up. And some of them were harsh, being really honest. And I was like, oh my God, I've already gone on telly for like a laugh. Why are you being so mean? But I could choose to look at it or not look at it, you know? And other ones were, did your dad used to be a manager at a football club? Can you say hi? So it was a really, it was a mixed bunch of messages. But I think the point is I could turn it on or off. And I think these days you can't. And to me, even though you know people don't know you, that was actually hard. And so I feel really, really lucky that on the whole people were lovely and kind. And I feel really lucky that I'm not on it now because I think social media is difficult. I think it's difficult to deal with because you can't turn it off.
Very nasty.
I don't think when it's nasty, it's really nasty. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think it's a lot to take, and you can't switch it off, but you could in those days, and I'm grateful for that.
I remember listening to it over the internet, over the web, and just waiting for something to happen. I used to listen to the birds tweeting. What's going to happen? I can't go to sleep. It was like, how sad. I just wanted something to happen.
I remember the nights I lost sleep watching you guys sleep.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
It's so weird. It's so weird thinking about it now, like us watching people like it's so strange.
Especially that they were asleep in bed and it was like, just sitting there watching them.
Are they doing anything? No.
No, nobody was doing anything.
Well, guys, this has been fantastic. We've got to wrap up in a minute, but I've got to thank Dee Kelly, of course, the Duchess of Solihull, very much for joining us. Of course, Claire Strutton from BB1. Can you believe BB1 20 years ago for coming on tonight? I think this was obviously our first BBBOTS audience Zoom, and I think you can say it went very, very well. You've got some of the old characters from BBBOTS, and we're going to try and do one of these every night after the Best Ever Shows E4 show.
More of the other guys coming on.
And
we'll see who else we can get on. And Daniel's going to take care of all the uploading to various platforms, which I'm sure he'll let us know on Twitter and and the like. And thank you all for coming. It's been great.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Before we go, Dee and Claire, you're welcome back every night if you.
Please come back.
Thank you.
It was fantastic. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Paul.
Paul.
Bye, guys. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.